Hi everybody, how are you? Well, I've ducked out here in between the showers to do a little video for you today. It has been terrible, but hopefully the weekend will bring a bit better weather. Sorry it's been a while. It's been more than a few weeks due to a few little things really. Took the first long holiday in a long while for the last 3 weeks, interrailing around Europe, which was fantastic, but it meant no gardening and had to rely on friends to come around and water, and they did a lovely job. As you can see behind me as well, the weather, poor as it's been, has been perfect for the bulbs, and there are so many. I might have overpacked this bed slightly. It's my way of gardening, which is shove it all in and see how it gets on. This bed here is Helen's, and it's a little bit more neat and a little bit better in terms of display, but I prefer mine really. So I'll give you a quick run around the garden and show you how good things are looking this time of the year. And remember, if you haven't started doing anything yet, planting seeds or doing anything planting out into the garden, don't worry. With this weather in the UK as it is at the moment, not much is going to take off, so you've still got time. So get looking at your seed packets, get them in the greenhouse or on a windowsill, and with a bit of luck, end of April, start of May, a bit of heat, they'll catch up quick. But for now, let's do a quick tour. So this is how the garden looks at the moment. A hell of a lot of green and a lot of growth while we've been away. Everything's sort of popped up, and there are signs of life and signs of hopefully future promise out here. But I'm going to start in the greenhouse, where I think last time, in the last video, I just put the seeds in, and between now and last time we pricked out the tomato seeds and the chili seeds and potted them onto these smaller type of pots, and you can see here hopefully that things are doing reasonably well. We left the sweet pea inside the greenhouse for now, just to make sure it doesn't get nibbled. As you'll see later on, the snails and slugs have been at the early ones. But the tomatoes, they're looking really healthy in here. And just to lift one up, just check the bottom. Let's see, you can see the first signs there of roots peeking through. Not enough to pot on yet, and it's far too early to put them in the garden. You need to really wait until the last frosts have gone. But you will see from this cosmos up here, which is a lovely plant, that they're starting to come through the bottom. So in about a week's time, I'll pop that onto a bigger pot. And again, before putting it out into the garden, it's just not good enough weather really to get them out there yet. Hopefully, our Himalayan poppies, which have been very popular with snails and slugs in the past, are going to give us a lovely blue poppy in about a month or so's time. That'll be fantastic. Now, going around the garden, there's the odd tulip, which we planted. We had so many seeds, as you can tell from the front garden, but we put a few more dotted around the garden. But then here, you've got all the grasses just peeking through. The teasel, which will hopefully give us a bit of structure in this bed. And moving through, this is feverfew, which is in a zinc bath, but you wouldn't know that, and has gone wild. So this should give us lots of little daisy-like plants throughout the first months of the, certainly the last months of spring and maybe into the summer. Then we've got the promise of California poppies and Nigella here. And we're getting some little daisies popping out, which is lovely. We can see here though the damage that's been done by snails and slugs, and probably some of the weather, on those sweet peas that we planted out, that we spent all winter looking after. So the lesson there is, don't go out too early. If you do go out early, protect them much better than I have, because we've got to start from scratch, unfortunately. And here's one of the culprits, who we will remove at some point soon. The parsley's gone really well all over the winter, and is now really coming through. So we're thinking about doing a soup with that tonight, maybe with some courgettes, because we've got far too much and we can't use it all. Also here, you can see a few leaves. No blossom yet on the bloody ploughman apple, but that's hopefully to come soon. And then wandering through, got little violas and pansies doing really, really well. You've got some little bluebells coming through as well. The rose, hopefully, will start making an impression in the next month. Another damaged sweet pea, unfortunately. The muscaria just going over, but they were absolutely lovely when they were in full colour. And then behind them we've got the great rosemary, which is still giving us so much joy and so much colour. And this has been littered with bees since we got back, really. The fruit is fruiting, or starting to fruit, so the jostaberry, we're starting to see flowers up there and starting to see the first signs of some berries you can see in there. Cherry, as you might imagine, is absolutely gorgeous. There's the blossom here heralds, hopefully, gives us hope that there'll be some nice fruit on here later in the summer. They're swinging around. Same story really for the blackcurrant. You've got all these bits ready to fruit. We've got the red currants, which are starting to create their fruit. And our good friend the gooseberry, the red gooseberry, which has recovered from the gooseberry sulphide last year. And we're really hopeful we're going to get some lovely red gooseberries from this. And finally, we'll move around to the quince, which didn't crop at all last year. We had no quince whatsoever on the tree. But I'm really hopeful, looking at some of the buds here, that this is going to be a really good year for quince. Well, that's all for this month. Thanks for watching. Really glad to show you what's changed and how healthy the garden's looking. Give or take a few sort of casualties of gardening, but that's the way it is, and we know that. Don't put all your hopes in one flower or one plant, because they're bound to go or get nibbled by something. But with enough things here, something will grow and we'll get something back. I think this is moving now into the best part of the year. Got all the colour of the tulips, which will be there for the next couple of weeks. Then we'll start to see much more colour coming from other plants in the garden, and the first signs of fruit and veg coming through, which is fantastic. So looking forwards, it's going to be a great end to the spring, I hope, and the weather will join us with that. But for now, thanks for watching, look after yourselves and enjoy your weekend. Bye for now.